After some high drama in Game 1, a capacity crowd on hand here, and they're definitely making their presence felt. It's the second game of this ALCS between the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim and the New York Yankees. Hi again, everyone. Matt Vasgersian. Welcome to our special postseason coverage of baseball on the show. I'm joined by Eric Karros and Steve Lyons. And Steve, an important ball game coming up here in Game 2.
Yeah, and you see a really good start for the home side. They did what they needed to do in the opening game of this series. And the crowd, that made a huge difference. They were behind their guys all the way, and boy, oh boy, were they loud. And I've got a feeling that not much is going to change here in game number 2.
Set for what should be a good one. Lineups and first pitch are next. The crowd is ready to erupt as their guys get set to take the field. Let's join public address announcer Mike Carlucci.
And now, your New York Yankees.
And briefly here, a glance at the two starters who'll get the ball here in this one. And with that, let's take a look at the Angels starting lineup. Steve, what's the key for him against one of the best starters in the game?
Well, I think you need to take advantage of balls up in the zone, and you could probably say that almost every day, but this is a great hitter's park. You get something to drive, they end up in the seats here.
David Price is on the mound for Game 2. EK, what do you got?
Yeah, Matty, he'll look to build off of his last start where he got the win and only allowed one run.
Eric Ibar heads for the batter's box, and we are just about ready for some evening baseball.
Shortstop, number 2.
Underway this evening as the first pitch is taken for strike one as we get started right on time at 7:05 p.m.
7:05.
And Ibar swings through that one as he falls behind here, 0-2 now. Swing, and he pops him up over toward foul territory. And he's set down, one away.
In the second spot.
Here's that swing again. This is in show motion. And you'll see that that's a few inches above the thumbs. You'll be feeling that one all night long.
Stepping in now, Taylor Featherston. As he will take strike one on the fastball here, no balls and a strike. Good night for scarves and mittens. It's 48 degrees here at first pitch. Ground ball sent back up the middle. A diving try, but he can't haul it in. It's through for a base hit. Mike Trout will dig in now, and he was one of the bright spots offensively in the Game 1 defeat last time out.
Yeah, he did his part. He just needed a little more help.
Price pauses. Here's the first pitch. And a high strike there, 0-1.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be in any big hurry to challenge this guy again. I'd see if I could make him go out of the zone, maybe chase a bad pitch.
Good job to spoil that one away, and he stays alive. And a big rip at the curveball, but he didn't get it, and he becomes the second casualty of the inning.
Well, that's a good confidence builder with a runner on base here in the first. But this is definitely the man to worry about in this lineup. There's little question about that, so he'll be fired up about that one.
Cole Calhoun will take his cuts now, and he is one guy whose bat is not made to train. Meanwhile here, the throw down to second is not in time, and it's a stolen base. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And he takes something off there and had him way out in front for strike 2.
And sometimes if you don't get to a guy like this early, then you're never going to get to him. So you don't want to let this chance pass you by.
Protecting on 0-2, so we'll do it again. Runner in scoring position at second with 2 down. Strike 3 called, and the inning is over. Back-to-back strikeouts keep him out of danger. Game 2 coverage rolls on after this. With that, it's time to check out the starting lineup for the hometown Yankees. What's the key to sending fans home smiling tonight, Steve?
Just don't be stupid up there. Don't chase balls out of the zone. Move guys along when the situation calls for it. Play the game.
Ben Revere comes to the plate to lead things off here in the bottom half of the first.
Ben Revere.
First pitch fastball off the plate there, and it's ball 1. Swing and a liner, but foul. Shot towards second. And a reach to his backhand side at second, but this finds a way by.
So far, so good. They get a scoreless top of the first, and now a leadoff single to start things in their half.
Josh Harrison will stand in now for the first time, coming off, well, nothing short of a dynamic performance last time out.
Well, it makes you wonder how they're going to attack him here in this game. I would bet that they're a lot more cautious with him.
And set up working the plate is Larry Bullard, as you see the rest of our umpiring crew there.
Well, my man Larry, he's solid. Rarely do many people get upset with his calling of the strike zone because it doesn't really seem like he favors any one part of the zone more than another.
Just got a piece to the right side. And this is going to work out for him. It's an infield single to make it first and second now.
Never an easy play right there. Just trying to hit your pitcher in stride when you know it's going to be a close play at the bag. And this time the flip comes up just a little too late, and that's an infield single.
Standing in now, Brandon Moss. As this is popped foul behind the plate, it's strike 1. First and second here with nobody out. Hit hard up the middle. And that's through into center field. Base hit. And the runner stuck in a pickle between third base and home. And he is toast out there as they apply the tag for the out. The tag, and he is out at second base. It's a double play. Carlos Santana set to take his first cuts with a man at first and 2 away.
Yeah, and he's going to have to find a gap to give that man on first a chance to score.
And he starts him out with a strike on the outer half. A runner on first with 2 away. Curveball there. This one touching 77 miles an hour. 2 strikes.
And you kind of get the sense that he's not really messing around out there too much. There hasn't been a whole lot of setting guys up here in this inning. He's just trying to get himself back into that dugout as fast as he can.
Inside with the slider, and that'll back him up a bit. A little late on the fastball, but he's able to spoil that one off, and he'll get another chance. Throws him for strike 3, and that retires the side. David Freese makes his way to the plate. He'll get us started here in the top of the second. And he takes a cold strike, 0-1. And he takes this one high, 1-1. Oh, looked like he was towing an anchor there, 1-2.
Boy, when he's got that thing going good, it just takes a nosedive right at the end.
Hit on the ground to short. Descalzo on the grass. Throw to first will be in time, and there's one gone here to start the second.
Batting sixth, second baseman.
Into the box now, Josh Rutledge. He'll get to take his first cuts here. Price into his motion. Here comes the first pitch. Below the knees, 1 ball, no strikes. No score here as we play inning number 2. 1-0 pitch is a curveball. That looked good from here, but it's 2-0.
And this is what you got to do up there, Steve. You got to wait him out.
Yeah, and if you can lay off the off-speed stuff, that's when you're going to get your fastball to hit.
Into the windup. Here's the 2-1 pitch. To 2-2 now.
Yeah, you've got a cold night. The ball won't be carrying as well, so you can afford to take a few more chances in the strike zone and challenge some guys. In that case, up in the strike zone.
Revere will range to his left as he tracks this one down in left center for the second out of the inning. And with 2 away, let's check in with our up-to-the-minute playoff bracket. And you can see our series at 1-0 as things are starting to heat up here as we get later into October. Marlon Byrd stands in as he looks at a called strike. 2 out, nobody on. That's in there, and he's deep in the hole now, 0-2.
Yeah, that pitch is still up a little bit, but at least this one was out on a corner. But I don't think I'd want to be making a living up there too much.
And they'll try to tempt him with a curveball, but this bounces in front of the plate, and it's 1-2.
Well, he's had a lot of guys swinging at pitches out of the strike.
A swing and a miss. That retires the side, and that will do it. Angels are gone in order. We'll go to the bottom of the second. No score. Daniel Descalzo will lead things off here as they'll have 5, 6, and 7 due up to start the home second. And he'll power in a fastball that time at 94 for strike 1. And he falls behind 0-2. The windup and the 0-2 pitch. Hit in the air to straightaway center. Trout is there, and he has it for the first out.
Batting sixth.
Into the box, Starlin Castro, as he'll get his first opportunity in this one. Ready to deliver. Here's the first pitch. And that misses inside 1-0.
Well, that two-seam fastball ran a little too much off the plate, but now that sets him up to work with something away and maybe even an off-speed pitch.
But good hands over there at first, and that becomes out number 2.
Well, maybe on a different day, we might be looking at first and second, nobody out. Maybe even runners on the corners with nobody out. But instead, this is now 2 very hard-hit balls in the inning, both of which have found gloves.
This should end the inning as it's sent out to second. And indeed it will. He throws him out at first, and the side is retired. Nothing doing here this half. We've played. Chris Iannetta is into the box as we are all set to begin the third. Price gets his sign. First pitch on its way. Now a fastball to start the third. That misses. It's ball 1. That's by him for strike 1.
Doing a good job right there of tying him up inside. Got in on his hands that time before he could get that barrel through the zone.
And a curveball's by him that time as he falls behind now 1-2. Still 1-2 as he fouls it away. Swing and a liner toward the gap in left center. But this will be pulled in out there in left center. Well hit, but a rough out number 1.
Well, that one looked like for all the world it was a sure single leading off the inning. It was certainly hit hard enough, but evidently it was hit a little too hard as it winds up getting flagged down, and that's just a tough break.
Here's Albert now as the first pitch to him is in there for a called strike 1.
Real good lateral movement on that two-seam fastball. That pitch is money for him when it's moving like that, so just keep on throwing.
Third inning, no score to this point. And they try to get Pujols to chase here, but he lays off. It's 1-2.
And I think that might have been a little bit of a purpose pitch right there up in the zone. Now I think he's going to come back down with something to try to get that strikeout.
Now a swing and a miss here as he's down on strikes. So it's 2 up, 2 down to begin the third. Eric Ibar will stand in now with 2 away, trying to avoid another 1-2-3 inning.
Now this has been total domination these past few innings. They haven't been able to mount any kind of threat whatsoever.
And he powers the cut fastball by him that time, and he's in charge now, 0-2. Bases are empty here with 2 men out. Can't quite get around in time to keep it fair, and it remains 0-2. Into the windup. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Skied into straightaway right. Moss has it in his tracks. He makes the play, and that'll end the inning. Angels go down 1-2-3. Home half of the third coming up. No score. Yan Gomes digs into the box in the bottom of inning number 3.
Catcher, Yan Gomes.
And he throws the fastball by him here. 0-1.
You can hit the low fastball, but you're not going to hit that one up there. You can just forget about it. You've got to make him bring that thing down.
0-2.
Swing and a miss. It's 0-2. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. And a good bite to that slider as he swings through it for the first out of the inning. So 1 gone in the inning now for Jacoby Ellsbury.
Center fielder, Jacoby
First pitch of the at-bat. A little tardy there. No balls and a strike. Bottom of inning number 3, 0-0 our score. Tap foul at home plate. Now the 0-2 pitch. Ground ball right side. And Pujols will simply step on first to record the out.
Now batting,
Ben Revere will stand in. He singled to lead off the home first.
And you know, guys, I just love the way he went the other way with that. Now I'm interested to see if he has a similar approach in this at-bat.
And this is low, ball 1. In for a strike. It's 1-1.
Well, that one's at 94, so the velocity's good right now.
1-1. Here it comes. Softly hit out to short. And that's in there, so perhaps some life here with 2 men out.
now batting,
Josh Harrison stands in.
Josh Harrison.
Revere rides off for second. Pitch is high, the throw, and he'll be tagged out at second base. Trying to get into scoring position, but instead the inning is over. 1 hit's all they get. Well, Taylor Featherston is ready here as we begin the top of the fourth.
Well, they still don't have any runs on the board yet, so getting this leadoff man on base would be huge.
Back to work now is Price as he gets ahead to start the inning. It's strike 1. Hit hard on the ground towards second. Throw to first in time. 1 gone here in the fourth. So the bases are empty with 1 man gone. And standing in, the ever-dangerous Mike Trout. Lofted in the air out toward right center. Moss has a play. And that's the second out of the inning. Cole Calhoun in now. He went down looking at his first trip to the plate.
Well, you know, it never feels good to go down on strikes, especially looking. You wouldn't be surprised to see him be a little more aggressive in this at-bat. Descalzo
is there, and they breeze through this half inning as the side is retired. Angels down quickly there on just 4 pitches. On to the bottom of the fourth. Josh Harrison is set to lead us off in the home half of the fourth inning.
Well, they still aren't even on the board yet, so this leadoff guy needs to get on so they can manufacture a run.
And he misses inside with that one, ball one.
And if he can get himself into a fastball count, don't be surprised if he has a big cut at something. Maybe try and break this tie ball game.
And a good effort on the dive that time, but this will get by him for a base hit.
You talk about a guy who's really stepped it up all throughout this postseason. Here's your man right here. And he's on base again as he leads off the inning with a base hit.
Stepping in, Brandon Moss. He reached on a single in his first try. First things first, here's a throw over. And he'll get dirty, but he's back in safely. First pitch fastball swung on and missed 0-1.
Here's a good spot to finally break through against this guy. You've got the leadoff man on, the heart of the order's coming up, and maybe this is a good chance to get that goose egg off the scoreboard.
And he'll try to take control of the inside part of the plate with the fastball as he backs him off a bit. Richards comes set, coming home with the 1-1 pitch. Hit hard towards center. In there, a base hit. Carlos Santana will stand in now with 2 on here and nobody out to begin the inning.
And on the mound, he hasn't found himself in too many rough spots so far, so this might be his first real test of the ballgame.
First pitch hack in here, and that's the first strike.
Now with 2 on, nobody out, you got to be thinking strikeout double play out there on the mound. One or the other is what you really need.
Just a bit late, and he's fallen behind 0-2. Has to be thinking strikeout here. Curveball got him swinging for the first out. Digging in, Daniel Descalzo. He flew out in his last at-bat.
Daniel Descalzo.
Slapped hard the opposite way. And he'll lay out to make a spectacular catch. Wow. And no tag at second. He'll head back there with 2 away now.
The batter, number 14.
Starlin Castro gets a shot here with 2 on and 2 out here in the fourth.
And a big 2-out at-bat right here. You know, it's still early in this game, but you don't want to have to look back on this as a major missed opportunity later on.
And he lays off a pitch in there for the first strike. Now he lifts a high pop-up, drifting into foul territory on the right side. And the 2-out threat will not come to pass as the inning is over. David Freese will stand in to lead things off here, and his guys have been unable to get anything going to this point.
Yeah, and you think so many times in the postseason, we see starting pitching really come to the forefront, and this guy's been every bit as good as advertised so far.
Fastball at 94 miles an hour, and it's 1-1. And he's behind now as he missed badly on that swing. 1-2.
Boy, not only are these guys not getting on base, they're not even getting off any good swings. That's the swing of a guy who's really out to sea right there.
And the leadoff man gone now to start the fifth. An early look at the line score here tonight as we play the top of the fifth. And boy, just one lone hit for the visitors this evening as they've been taken to task by this starter. Chop foul at the plate, strike one. A little quick on that swing, and he finds himself behind 0-2. Price sets his sights. 0-2 pitch on its way. And this is swung on and missed, so it's 2 up, 2 down to start the fifth.
I think we expected to see a well-pitched game coming in, and we got one. Starting to look like the team who scores first might be the one who wins.
Check to swing there and pops this one up. And now Harrison will look this one in to retire the side. Another look at a gem at third base as this ball is speared midair. Back with more postseason baseball in Game 2 after this. Charlie Blackmon comes to the plate as we get started here in the bottom of the 5th.
Absolutely nothing going on in this game so far, so we'll see if the leadoff man can get something going.
Grounded to the right, fielded by Rutledge. Throws in time, and that's out number 1.
And that's a good guy to take care of on one pitch, especially on a swing like that.
Now to the plate, Yan Gomes. He'll look to bounce back after striking out his last time up.
Yep, they sent him packing last time, so maybe they have a pretty good idea of how to attack him again right here.
Bat explodes as this has popped up.
Well, chalk another one up for that pitcher. He's used to breaking bats, and he'll give you a little stare down after doing something like that every once in a while.
Line to the right side, and that's into the outfield for a one-out base hit.
Back into the stretch for him again as we take a look at his line so far. It's almost like he's kept that shutout going with smoke and mirrors because he's definitely given up his share of base runners. They just haven't amounted to anything so far.
Jacoby Ellsbury is in for his second plate appearance as he looks at a ball that's 1-0.
Pretty good speed here coming out of that left-handed batter's box, so it's no sure thing that a ground ball means a double play.
That one will get out of play, and the count evens up at 1-1. One and one, here it is. Right side, hit hard. He gets dirty, but he can't make the play. It's a base hit. And he is in there.
Let's train our show motion camera on that runner at first base. Here, he might have had a shot to get around to third, but you see him have to hold up to make sure the baseball doesn't hit him. And by the time he gets going again, he knows he'll have to hold on at second base.
Here's Ben Revere. Hot shot on the ground is short. Rutledge over to Pujols, and it's a double play that'll get him out of the inning. One left for the Yankees. 6th inning coming up. Still zip, zip. Chris Iannetta will lead things off for the Angels here as they look to get it going in their half of the 6th.
The catcher, number 17.
And he tries to hold back on the swing, but I think it would have been ruled a strike anyway. It's 0-1. And Iannetta can't come up with that one as he swings through it for strike 2 now.
Yeah, and it seems like he kind of got away from that pitch here in the last few innings. You got to think about bringing that one right back.
Boy, good cutting action to that pitch as that's the first out of the inning.
The first baseman,
Albert Pujols is into the box. He was a strikeout victim in his first try. Behind on that one, now behind in the count, 0-1. Another one fouled off, and he's quickly behind 0-2. Price is ready, looking for the strikeout here on 0-2. And they try to get Pujols to chase here, but he lays off. It's 1-2.
And that's a good spot for that fastball on 0-2. That couldn't have been an easy take.
Chop fouled at the plate. It'll remain 1-2. Drilled right back up the middle and into center field as he's aboard with a one-out single.
shortstop, number 2.
So a runner at first now with one away, and that'll bring in the shortstop, Eric Ibar. And a high strike to begin the at-bat. It's 0-1. Runner goes for second, and it's quickly 0-2. Runners on first with one down. Smoke toward third. Harrison has it. Here's Castro for one. On to first as they get the double play to get him out of the inning. Around the horn they go. 5-4-3 to end the threat. Game 2 coverage rolls on after this. Josh Harrison gets things started here in the 6th for the hometown team.
Well, you know, he's been on base twice in this one already, so let's see if he can do it again.
Smoked on the ground up the middle. And that's a base hit. So a little first pitch swing in there as he's on to kick off the inning.
Yeah, he hit a good pitch there. This thing's toward the outside part of the plate, but he stays with it all the way. Uses the big part of the field and gets himself a base hit.
Digging in now, Brendan Moss. He singled his last time up. From the stretch. Chop foul right at home plate. It's strike one. Throw over to first, and the runner back.
Got a pretty good lead right there.
No runs, 9 hits, and no errors for the Yankees so far. Swinging a ball hit softly on the ground. One there. Return throw is in time, and what do you know? They do get the double play.
Yeah. So much for that leadoff single. They say here in the Bronx, forget about it.
Carlos Santana will come on now, and no sooner did it look like they may have something started than the double play took it all away.
And that's especially tough when you figure the part of the lineup they're in. These are the guys you want to have hitting with runners on base.
Infield in the overshift here. Now the pitch. Now a swing and a ball popped high in the air over toward foul ground. And he'll lunge out of the crouch to put this one away. Good. Back here in the Bronx. It's on to the 7th now in game 2, but before we start, there's a look at our game summary to this point. Taylor Featherston will come forward now to begin the 7th inning in what's been a very briskly played ball game here tonight.
And that's what happens when you get two starters that are on top of their game. It's been great pitching, great defense, not a lot of base runners, and a very even game through 6 innings.
Oh, and you talk about a pitcher getting the benefit of the doubt. That's low, but called a strike anyway. Nothing in 2 now. Heading out toward shallow right. Moss has a read on it, and that's the first out of the inning.
Another guy retired there. You see his pitching line to this point. It's phenomenal. Just 2 hits. Both of them are singles, and he's hardly even been in trouble. Thorough domination so far.
Mike Trout is in for the 3rd time now as he takes a called strike. It's 0-1. One of the things that makes him so tough to hit, the ability to put his pitches right on the black.
Yeah, I mean, you watch the catcher's glove on some of these, and it literally does not move. That's how good his stuff is.
Fly ball out to straightaway right field. And this will be taken in without much trouble. It's an easy start to the 7th. 2 gone.
Now batting.
Cole Calhoun will stand in now. He's struck out and flied out. 0 for 2 thus far. And he'll power in a fastball that time at 94 for strike 1. You have to say they've really had a good game plan for attacking the 3, 4, 5 hitters all game long.
Yeah, and I think the only thing that's better than a game plan has been the execution of that game plan. You're exactly right. They've held this lineup at bay.
Number 6.
David Freese will step in now. He's bounced out and flown out in his first 2 plate appearances. And that's in there for strike 1. This is swung on and lifted down the left field line, but it'll get back into the crowd as he jumps ahead of him now. 0-2. Frozen on strike 3 for the final out of the inning. Angels strand 1. We are still scoreless. Daniel Descalzo steps into the box as the leadoff hitter here in the bottom of the 7th.
Still no runs on the board for either team, and it might come down to who can manufacture a run first.
And now we see a right-hander up and throwing in the Angel bullpen. Pitch swung on and hit in the air. Calling for it, Trout. 1 away. Starlin Castro will step forward now. Lined out and popped out in his previous 2 trips.
He's made good contact in his first 2 at-bats, but he's got nothing to show for it.
On the ground to the left side. Ibar with the backhand. And the throw is not going to be in time as he's able to reach base safely.
Well, the very fact that he gets to this ball, that's impressive. But there was no way he was going to be able to get enough on that throw. So that'll be scored an infield single.
Here's Charlie Blackmon now, as he'll go after the first pitch to him and comes up empty. It's strike 1. Not too many strikeouts on the ledger for him so far, but it hasn't really mattered.
Yeah, I think ideally you'd like to see him miss a few more bats, but as long as you're keeping guys off balance.
And as Yankees fans hear on television quite frequently, see ya! So a 2-run homer down the line in right field. His first homer here in the series. And this is now a 2-0 lead for the Yankees.
Boy, and for how well he's pitched so far, it's hard to believe that he could stand to be the losing pitcher. But that's the scenario he faces now as he serves up the lead on this home run.
Here's the catcher, Yan Gomes, as he'll take a look at ball 1. Not much success for these guys through the first 6, but it appears they found the key to unlock their opponent here in the 7th.
Yeah, it's pretty common when you start getting into your 3rd time around against a guy. They've got a much better idea of how to attack him, and now it's starting to pay dividends.
Had him off stride that time, and it's 1-2.
And this has been a common problem for all of these guys. They just can't lay off that pitch down and away.
And he'll lay off the curveball that's in the dirt that time, and it's back to even now at 2-2. Richard steps into his windup. 2-2 on its way. Chopped weakly to the left. Freeze is up with it, and a throw to Pujols is in time for the 2nd out.
Up next for the Yankees,
Jacoby Ellsbury will dig in. 1 for 2. He grounded out the first time and followed that with a base hit in his 2nd plate appearance. This one's flared out toward left. Bird is there, and he'll put it away to retire the side. Yankees get a couple on the 2-run home run. We'll march on to the lead and going here and even this game up.
And so far in this one, they're still ace.
Now, as the first pitch is a fastball that's looked at for ball 1. That command may be starting to drift a bit. It's 2-0 now.
You got to think one thing here. Get on base. A walk will do the trick.
That one's more like it, he says. Back to 2-1 now. That's going to even up the count at 2-2. Into the windup. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. And he struck him out. Good pitch there as he registers his 8th punch out of the ball game. Marlon Byrd stands into the box. He's 0 for 2 so far in this one. In tight here with the first pitch fastball that's 1-0. Oh, much too tardy on the fastball. 1-1. Swing and a miss as he pulled the string on him. 1-2.
Seems like it's been a fairly consistent pattern. Hard stuff early, soft stuff late. But these guys don't seem to have caught on yet.
It's a pretty standard operating procedure, too. But they just look lost up there. A good job there making a 2-strike adjustment. Very compact there. He uses the middle of the field, and this just finds its way into center for a base hit.
Chris Iannetta stands in for the 3rd time now as he takes a look at a ball. It's 1-0. Good cut fastball in there. 1-1. Chopped in front of home plate. The tag gets 1.
the first baseman.
So a runner at 2nd. 2 down now. And standing in. Trouble now in the person of Albert Pujols. Lays off 1-0. Swing and a liner. Foul. No runs, 4 hits, and no errors to this point for the Angels. Swing and a miss on a pitch outside. 1-2 now.
He might have thought he'd be getting another dose of that curveball because he was way behind that one.
Looking to keep the shutout intact. Here it comes. And that misses. 2-2. Frozen on the fastball. Never had a chance, and the inning is over. Angels leave 1. They're still down. It's 2-0. Edward Mujica is on out of the bullpen now as he'll take over to start the bottom of the 8th. Ben Revere comes forward to bat again. He was the victim of a double play last time around.
Yeah, and it's always kind of tough returning to the dugout after rolling into a double play. So you know he wants to make up for that one right here.
Launch to right field and deep. Calhoun looks up, and this one is gone. A home run. A solo shot here to straightaway right field. His first homer so far in the series as the Yankees move out to a 3-0 lead.
And guys, you wonder if this home run makes it an easier decision to send that starter back out there to maybe finish this one off himself. That gives him an extra bit of leeway here, and I have a feeling that might just sway their manager's decision into letting him try to go out there and notch the complete game.
Josh Harrison stands in. Gets on top of one here and chops it foul right at home plate. Hit to short. Ibar has it. Throw on to first, so a good comeback there as he gets the first out of the inning.
And that's why you love this guy playing short for you. Excellent range, and he's going to show off that hose, too. That's a nice play.
Into the box now, Brandon Moss, as he'll get caught chasing a bad one there at strike 1.
And these guys already have 1 home run here in the inning, and now you get to the real power guys here. So you need to be careful.
Not the greatest at-bat thus far as he misses that pitch in the dirt and falls behind 0-2 now. Do you even bother with anything else here?
No, I sure wouldn't. As a hitter, you're thinking, look for fastball, adjust for an off-speed pitch. And so far in this at-bat, he hasn't made any adjustments.
1-2, here it comes. Here is a ground ball now for the shortstop to the right of second. Throw gets him, 2 down.
The first baseman, number 41.
Carlos Santana stands in, trying to change his evil ways here. Hitless in the ballgame so far.
Oh, I see what you did there, Matty. That's nice. No way you just came up with that on your own.
Sends that one out of play for strike 1. 2 out, nobody on. Chop foul right at home plate. Swing, line drive. That's going to be trouble. Santana will take the turn and head for second now. And he will stroll in there standing with a 2-out double.
Well, you'll see how late he is on this fastball. I mean, he nearly takes this out of the catcher's glove, but somehow he's able to steer it fair down the line, and he cruises in with a double.
Daniel Descalzo will stand in, one of the few guys not to join the hit parade so far.
Yeah, guys, he's got to be feeling a little bit like that dog that gets left out in the rain while the rest of the family's inside.
And we'll have to leave it there as the play is made here to end the inning. Yanks able to add on one more via the solo home run. Last chance coming up here for the Angels. It's now 3-0 New York. Now the beautiful views of Manhattan at night. Welcome back to baseball on the show from right here in the Big Apple. Eric Ibar will stand in to start off the ninth here with his guys in danger of going down 2-0 if they can't rally. A little bouncer. That rolls foul for strike one. Chop foul over towards the coaching box. Looking for his 10th strikeout. Did a good job to shorten up and protect the plate, and he'll have another shot at it here. On its way, the 0-2 pitch. That misses, says the home plate umpire. 1-2. Where it misses, I'm not quite sure.
Not too sure how you take that one on 0-2.
Yeah, not too sure how you call it a ball either.
And a swing and a miss. Good pitch there for the first out here in the ninth.
The batter, number 8.
Taylor Featherston will stand in, needing to do something here to get on base as they're down to their final 2 outs. Cut fastball taken for strike one. He continues to get ahead here. He's been in complete control.
I think you need to guard yourself from being overconfident, though. A bloop and a blast could still turn this game on its ear. Yeah, and about the only drawback you have to having so many strikeouts is that it really runs that pitch count up. You can see on the graphic right here that total's starting to get up there now, so he may be getting just a little bit tired.
He's set. Here's the 0-1. A lot of movement that time. It's 0-2. Any surprise they're attacking him like this? Those are 2 good pitches.
No, I think that's the way this guy operates. He won't back down out there, nor should he.
Moss is there, and there are 2 men gone now. Cole Calhoun will stand in now as their last shot here with 2 away in the ninth.
Yeah, just one final hurdle here before he finishes off the shutout.
Lays out, and he makes a spectacular catch. What a way to end this one.
And how about that for putting an exclamation point on a victory? Just a super play there to record the final out with some style.
Time for one final check of the line score as you see the key players there in this shutout victory. Well, guys, you're going to pick a time to have a big ball game. You may as well make it happen in the playoffs. Did. He's our top player of the game.
And obviously, every game is so important in the postseason, but this was one they definitely needed, and he came up with a huge performance here.
So that'll just about do it. For Eric Caro, Steve Lyons, and our entire crew, I'm Matt Vasgersian. This has been a presentation of MLB The Show. For more, don't forget to check out theshownation.com. The Yankees come out on top, 3-0. Good night from the Bronx.
Our final line score tonight, first for the victorious Yankees. 3 runs on 13 hits. No errors. They left 7 men on base.